Today is August 31st. It's the last day of the month. I hate this month. I'm so excited to get out of it. The Yankees lost yesterday. We got some more IL news, some rosters shuffling, and we're going to take a look at the playoff picture, what this roster's about. Let's talk Yanks. What's this roster about?
Talking Yanks with old Jomboy, Jake. Recaps galore, weekly awards, stat lines, steam and hot takes. Get your Yankees news from these two fine dudes. It's time for Talkin' Yanks. Talking Yanks with old Jomboy and Jake. Talking Yanks with old Jomboy and Jake.
Hello and welcome to Talkin' Yanks, brought to you by DraftKings. My name is Jimmy, his name is Jake, and we have BBD in the corner looking sexy in his Dan Flash's Pittsburgh Pirates quarter zip, collared long sleeve jacket, sweater.
It's like the shirts you wear material.
Oh, it's like
you would
Under Armour.
love
It's
this
like
shirt.
it's like wicker or non-wicking or whatever it is.
Yeah, and the people saying they shouldn't have charged him this much because of the pattern not being that complicated. It is. The pattern is complicated. Also, I got the big discount, so I didn't even spend that much.
Hell
money on
yeah.
it.
We got our midweek episode today. No sharp stats as KT is traveling to visit her family, so we hope she has a wonderful time. But we do got some kind of just like pitching and roster and a lot of things to talk about and even guessing the lineup at the end. But first and foremost, I need to know, how you doing, Jake?
James, Big Baby David, Dan Flashes, everyone in the chat. Hope you're doing well. Good morning. We probably got some of you waking up from the late night West Coast. Dad's still off. I under-caffeined yesterday, so I'm going to over-caffeine today. We're going to go hard. I'm normally a 2 caffeine drink a day guy, usually coffee, sometimes energy drink coffee, sometimes pre-workout coffee, sometimes coffee energy drink. I think I said that one. I think I'm going for 3 today.
Hell yeah.
Oh, my. Oh, hell yes.
Time to put on that party dress.
And the Yanks need it.
Drink the caffeine. chug
And
the
yeah, man, I
caffeine.
think this will be good. I think this will be good. Because I think we need to let it out a little bit. Because, man, 13-game win streak. This was actually a nice August. The weather actually cooperated really well this August. This was a pretty cool August.
Disagree.
BBD?
Oh, overall, it was. Think about what August usually is. On our
Jim,
road
we've
trip
had,
that
like,
we just had, we had a bunch of 90-degree days.
We've had like
We had-
70-degree days in the city. It's been like chilly nights in August.
Oh, maybe the weather's different. We've had a lot of days where it says 88 degrees, but feels like 100. Like
There was like 1 week of that, but that's normally all of August.
That's normally what the whole month is.
Yesterday it
All
was
humid.
90 when I got back to my house.
We had a huge Yankees month. We've had a comfy August. It's like the Gary Sanchez. You have to compare August with August. And this August was a great August. So
I haven't looked at the weather, but my perspective would say it was a rather hot August.
I think you kind of have a Gary hater view on August. Like, you're always going to attack August. I think if you compare catchers
Only the
to
bad
catchers,
was going to stick out to you.
August to August, this was a good August, Yankees-wise, weather-wise. And, man, yeah, I think it's, the Yanks are still having an incredible second half. They had an incredible August. Man, a 3-game loser when you had Oakland on the ropes, which, by the way, like, Oakland is going to be back in play. We're going to be talking about Oakland a lot this episode and the rest of the way. And then, last night it just seemed, what was Booney doing and why is Heaney on the team? And we'll talk about that a little bit. But, yeah, man, just frustrating that it goes down like that. But here we are. Kluber came back, and we got a lot of roster talk to discuss and probably some schedule stuff to eye a little bit as the Yankees go on the rest of the way.
Yeah. Yes. So, I mean, a lot of the Kluber Heaney stuff is kind of a game recap, and then usually we save that, but it's also roster, just decision-making
Right.
stuff. And I got into the meme game with you last night. I was so upset.
Memesicles.
Yeah. Memed my butt off.
Well, that's because they pulled a double wrong. Because if you have Heaney ready to follow, which you discussed, you announced, and it's the only reason he's on the team, And, by the way, Corey Kluber making his first start back, which he wasn't fully stretched out in the minor leagues because we were running out of season. And I was having flashbacks to earlier this year. You guys probably remember, and I'm sure the Talkin Yanks faithful do as well. Kluber did this early this season. Like, when he ran out of gas, it was over. So it was very clear when he gives up the 3 straight hits after being pretty gross that it was over. And he went over the 50 pitches threshold that, like, hey, wake up. Like, I know it was the 4th inning, top 4, bottom 4. You should have Heaney ready to go no matter what.
Yeah.
And they didn't. And then to follow it up with Kluber getting out of the inning, well, kind of, gives up the grand salami. And then to go to Heaney then, which, as you noted, there's a lot of other guys that deserve to be on the roster above him, then it's just a double whammy. If you have him on the roster for one reason, and that reason appears, go for it. And then when you get past that, and you still have him on the roster, and then you shouldn't, that's just double bad. The bad fest.
Yeah, they went like into their old ways, really. You know, we've talked about how this Yankees team, they get relievers up when Chapman's struggling now.
Right.
They get relievers up early when Monty might be looking in
5th,
trouble.
yeah.
They pinch hit a ton. They're stealing more. They're just a different brand of like, we're not going to follow our script. We're going to attack the game. And they just completely reverted to following a script yesterday and not attacking the game. Heaney didn't have to pitch in that game. You literally said in the pregame show, I was like, if Kluber can go 5,
right,
you don't need Heaney. And you said, if he can go 4, you don't need Heaney. And he went 4. Or if they pulled him, when would he have? If they pulled him when we wanted,
they should have pulled him. I think 3.2. I think that's when he gave up the 3 straight hits.
3.1, or it would have been 3.1.
Which I don't know. I guess for me that was Heaney's own. And if
specific, especially 3.2,
Yes.
3.2, it would have been. It was a 2-1 game or a 2-1 game. He walked in a run, so it would have been a 2-1 game. You have to pull him there. You got 3.2, and we looked at it, and you had bullpen, like I was saying in my post game recap, and they just fell into old habits of like, well, this is the plan. We need to get innings, and I think you're going to talk about the stretch coming up, and the fact they do need to get innings, but I think they can attack games and still be clear of this. Like, you don't I would have pulled Kluber earlier. Like, I would have pulled Kluber. I don't know.
Was he at 50 pitches after 3?
So
I think they were like, because they're kind of trying to actively stretch him out, which kind of sucks when you're still doing that in this first game.
Yeah,
I think they were pretty committed to getting him to at least 60.
I just don't know if that should be the plan. It
shouldn't.
August 30th, and they have 2.5 game lead in the wild card.
They just lost 2 in a row.
And they just lost 2 in a row. I just don't know if we're in a place where, like, well, we need to stretch Kluber out no matter what, or we need to throw Heaney no matter what. I think we're kind of graduated from that place.
Yeah, and that's where the other thing that comes into, and you hear it with pitchers getting pulled in like no-hitter type games. You hear it with young college pitchers. It's the different stress level of pitches. And Corey Kluber was pitching in the minor leagues, just getting his bullets up. And I think his minor league rehab, what was his high pitch count? Do you guys know? Was it 60? Was it 55?
It was somewhere around 60.
Around there.
So after 3 innings, he had only thrown 35 pitches. He looked sharp.
He looked sharp. And
letting him start the 4th is reasonable.
And I'm even fine with allowing him to keep going. But once he walks in a run, and now you're like, all right, dude's giving up 3 straight singles, and he just walked in a run. Let's just call this quits.
He didn't walk in a run. He walked it to load the bases before the grand slam.
How'd they get the first run?
So they went single, single, single. The third single scores a run.
Third single,
and then it was second and third. Yeah, I mean, and that's where. So Boone and the crew is going to get no. It did happen fast, and they mentioned that on the broadcast because Kluber comes out. You mentioned 35 pitches through 3, and then he strikes out Ohtani on a nice backdoor breaking ball. This time, it actually caught the edge. He got a nice call on the earlier one on Ohtani. But, man, and this is where they don't get the credit. Heendog is only here for this. Only here for this. So why not have him loose coming through this inning anyways? Second time through the order. Kluber hasn't thrown a lot of bullets. To let him give up 3 singles and then a deep fly out by Marsh, where both the runners advanced, that was deep center field, and then the walk to Stassi to load him. How can you let him stay in? I think it's Jack Mayfield who hits the first pitch home run. Good for you, kid. But yeah, I don't know how you can leave him in.
And they just started attacking early, the Angels.
Yeah.
I mean, Jared Walsh was first pitch single. Joe Adele was first pitch single. Jack Mayfield first pitch. Yeah, and everyone knows I've been very cynical of Kluber, and I need to be won over until I'm won over for the $10 million $1 year. Even though he lost steam, ran out of steam, and gave up a ton of runs, I can still say that was a good start, and like there's so much to build on here. But and Kluber said the same thing, and I agree with him. But at this point in the season, it's just a frustrating mindset. Kluber's like, well, you can't really look at results. I just felt good. Right. It's like, that's spring training talk. Yeah. On a personal level, I understand, and I agree that moving forward, once you get more stretched out and you get more stamina, you did look sharp when you had your stamina and you were good. But as the Yankees management, like we still have to worry about results somewhere here.
Yeah. And that's, hey, I hope one day in October we're talking about a silver lining where Corey Kluber throws 105 pitches and he looks phenomenal. And, this getting him up to 68 pitches was important. But as of today, if he threw 55 bullets and got out of there with 1 earned run, I think I would have preferred that. So,
Heaney needs to not be on the squad anymore.
Bingo.
I'm not trying to be overly mean here or anything, but it's just he just can't be. You just can't be having him pitch there. I mean, when you send Heel down to be a reliever, and then just stuff-wise, makeup-wise, who's going to be better out of the pen? Right. They're both stretched out to 60 pitches. Who's going to be better out of the pen? We cannot be like my meme was like, the decision can't be, we can't not lose Andrew Heaney instead of pitching a better pitcher. Like, that cannot be the mindset right now.
I mean, like prospect people think he'll long-term is a reliever and has the stuff to do that. Heaney, this was his first relief appearance in 5 years.
And he's bad to start the game, and he gives up home runs. Like, he's just not his stuff is not a reliever, and I don't know. This whole conversation has been brought to you by Roman.
Oh.
Yeah. Roman ready. I don't think Heaney's Roman ready out of the bullpen.
Get your bullpen up with Roman.
Ooh.
Start getting loose.
Go to GetRoman.com/JOMBOY now to talk to a U.S. licensed healthcare professional. With Roman, you can get a free online evaluation and ongoing care for erectile dysfunction, all from the comfort and privacy of your home. The whole process is straightforward, convenient, and discreet. Getting started is simple. Just go to GetRoman.com/JOMBOY and complete an online visit. Jake's done it, and he's a better man because of it. Take care of your ED without leaving your home. Complete an online visit. Connect with a U.S. licensed healthcare professional. Go to GetRoman.com/JOMBOY today, and if you're prescribed, you get 50% off your first month of ED treatment. Baby making season's coming up. Let's be Roman ready.
Roman ready. I'm all about that. Jim, let me lay out 2 quick scenarios for you.
Love scenarios.
You go to make love to the woman of your dreams, and your wiener doesn't work.
Yep.
Good time or bad time?
Not a great time, no.
You go to make love to the woman of your dreams, and your wiener does work well. Good time or bad time?
Great time.
It's demonstrably better time.
Yeah.
I'd be Roman ready.
And if I had the confidence knowing that it wasn't in doubt.
Right.
Like it wasn't like I get on the mound and then I got to see. Let's find out what we got today.
Right.
It's just like, no, I know I'm ready.
I can pump the fastball all day.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
All right. Thanks, Roman.
What
are you thinking about?
dumb people on Twitter.
Mm-hmm. Uh-huh. Say hey.
Play Wade.
Play Wade. What's going on there?
Such a hot start to the game yesterday, too. Do you want to talk about the 20-game stretch, and you think that Heaney's... Like, you think Heaney's around for a couple more inning-eating sessions? I think they can't do that.
Yeah, so here's... I should say this is my concern. We're coming up. September 1st is tomorrow. Yankees can call up 2 more people. They will probably be pitchers. We never got final word if they can call up Abreu and not use the 10-day stuff with the 40-man. I don't know. Either way, it's going to be pitchers. Maybe they'll have Velasquez on there for an extra day or 2 or however it works out. But it's going to be pitchers. And here's my conundrum. We have 20 games in 20 days coming up.
That's crazy.
Which is going to be crazy. And again, that's where, I hope we don't look back at a couple of these games and say, like, man, we really could have used dubs, because there's going to be points over this 20-game stretch where our good bullpen is going to be out. And that is truly fighting with one arm behind your back, especially in today's baseball. And ideally, we'll be building up for the playoffs. Most likely a wild card game, a 1-game wild card. So you're going to have to set up Cole at one point. A couple of Cole starts. You're not going to be able to empty the tank because you're going to want them fresh for that.
My stomach just dropped, just to let you know.
First stomach drop
You said wild card game and call, and like
of Augusto.
for now, it's kind of a certainty in my mind. Not certainty, but 87.5% chance it's just a wild card game.
You have to mentally be ready for that.
And my stomach dropped.
So I just think the reason Luis Gil isn't on the team right now, it's some roster stuff, but I do think the Yanks are storing him a little bit. And, they want to get him the bullpen appearance and blah, 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 hiding him from the rest of the league.
Oh, you think so?
I do.
I think it's simply if they DFA Heaney, bring up Heel, another pitcher gets injured, and now they are out of a body, then they're like, well, that wasn't worth it. I think they're just keeping bodies.
I think they're hiding Hill. Like BBD was saying, Hill, not the top prospect in our organization, clearly has some talent. I think, he is a part of their playoff formula right now mentally, that I think on a given day, especially over this, 20-game stretch in 20 days, I think there's going to be 2 days where if you can have Heendog throw you 60 to 80 bullets to either finish the final 2-3 innings, or your starter doesn't have it that day and just get it to other bullpen guys, I feel like he might hang around. Is there a chance I'm wrong on that? I think so. I mean, have we had a Domingo Germán update in a while? Because that would kind of change my Heendog outlook.
September. It's September.
I
tomorrow.
haven't seen him. Luis Severino, how does that all play out? I don't know. But yeah, I think, when we talk about our pitching options, which are still fun when it comes to a 5-game playoff series, and I think we're going to talk about that a little bit, and, Heendog isn't there. But man, if you need someone to burn 65 pitches on a random day, I mean, your options at this point, like Albert Abreu isn't stretched out anymore, and they like him. Luis Gil is stretched out, so that would be the option. But I think, I don't know. We'll see what they do with him. Nelson lost year. Clark Schmidt, we haven't seen him this year. I'd be open to Clark Schmidt over Heendog at this point. I think he's thrown some bullets at some different levels.
Devil, you don't know.
Yeah.
Heaney's going to give up a home run.
Yes.
So
Big time.
If you're expecting 85 pitches out of him, you hope he only gives up 1 or 2 home runs in their
Yes.
solo and the rest. If you're expecting 2 innings out of Heaney,
Right.
well, he's going to give up a home run.
Right. Your best case is 2 innings, 1 earned run. Best case.
Yes. So he's just not, and like his stuff is just not made for the bullpen.
Yeah.
So, I don't know.
Where's Steven Ridings?
Injured. He's on the IL.
Yeah.
Is he?
Yeah.
Wasn't on the 40-man anyway, so it was going to take finagling, but I think he did get hurt, yeah.
Fangraphs just has him in Trips A.
No, I believe
What are you
he might
doing,
be.
Maybe he's
It
back
was
by now. It was a
7
little
day,
bit-
so he might be.
Could be back by now.
He could be back, but he did go on the IL.
So, I don't know. We obviously know the Yanks view things differently, and I guess that's the thing. And are we doing the roster stuff now?
I'm trying to do some pitching rotation
because
stuff.
where, Griminator X just says heel over Heaney. Again, think of the roles there. Like, Luis Hill started a couple big games for us and was really good. Right now,
Really
I have Heaney coming in games where up 8 or down 8 and need innings, and I don't think they want to use heel in that role.
Well, but you have that. The Yankees have Heaney piggybacking Kluber. Like the next Kluber start, Heaney's going to piggyback, whether it's tie game, whether up, whether down. And if that's the role that he's in, he's just piggyback no matter what, give me heel.
Yeah, I very much agree there. I don't think they can do that with Heen Dog.
That's what they did yesterday. They're going to do it next time, too.
Right, but this was his first start, and in the minors, his biggest start was 60 pitches, and those are minor league pitches. Nothing matters. He was in a big league game facing Ohtani and striking him out. And we saw how quickly he wore out. They got him up to 68 pitches. That means next start they're going to be aiming for what, 75, 80?
Out of Kluber?
Yeah.
But what if he's faltering again and you just need to get him out?
It seems like they're going to let it ride. That's what they did yesterday.
Yeah, I think they're going to have a piggyback. Otherwise, yeah. I think they're going to have a piggyback for next Kluber start, and I think they're going to do Heaney again, which I would rather heel if that's what we're doing.
If that's what they're doing, absolutely. It's not even a discussion. That's the silence.
So we had a 5-man rotation right now.
I was just saying, if you're gonna use Heaney to eat innings, just use him as a starter and try to get him through 4 that way, and get everyone in the rotation a day or something, because he's not done the bullpen thing, and his stuff doesn't translate to the bullpen.
It's Cole,
That's
Nestor,
when
Monty,
you're gonna
Kluber,
use him.
Tyone. There's your 5.
Yeah, so I'm just copying, pasting that 5 on this 20-game stretch. And because I don't think they're going to do another. I mean, unless there's injuries, that's going to be the rotation for this 20-game stretch.
You don't think they'll try to sneak a day somewhere if they can?
I don't know. I don't think so. I don't think, unless there's an injury, Otherwise, because they want Kluber to get regular, and then Monty's had time off. He's fine. Tyone's, they're just rolling him out there.
That's the craziest thing about
And
all this.
if Sevy or Domingo come back, do they replace Nestor? They probably just piggyback, or Nestor becomes the piggyback.
Right.
I think preseason, JMO specifically, I think is the one they'd love to get an extra day for. I mean, everyone, I don't think they'd mind getting him more rest.
So if it stays on this rotation, Kluber's next starts will be against Baltimore at the stadium, and then against the Mets. They're one of the worst offenses in baseball, and then against Baltimore again, and then against Cleveland. So it's a nice little path for him to ease
Ramp
back into
himself
it.
up.
Yeah.
This JMO, I think preseason said he, coming into the year, hadn't pitched in 2 years, double Tommy John. I think he said he was aiming for between 125 and I want to say 140 was the upper end pitch innings. He's thrown 127 innings already, so he's reached the low end threshold of that.
Oop.
So I would assume they want to get him either a skip start or extra days, at least once
Tyone?
or twice the rest of the way.
Well, that depends if
If they keep
if Sevy or Mingo come back after September and they get called up, then you can definitely just have both of them, or them piggyback with someone else,
With Heel,
with Heel or with
Nestor, with
Heaney.
at this point,
Well, if
they've
you're
both been
skipping
out
Tyone, then
long
you would-
enough.
Yeah.
You piggyback them on each other and hope they combine to get you through 6. I think that would be kind of a fair ask. But they've been out long enough. I don't think they can get fully stretched out again. Domingo maybe.
So September 23rd is the first off day, and then after that off day is 3 against Boston, and then 3 against Toronto, and then 3 against Tampa Bay. And if they're the wild card game, then the wild card game is on the 4th for the AL, or is it the 5th?
It's
fifth.
I think
it's the
it's
first
a
game
Tuesday.
and it's the
I know
fifth.
they're the first. I don't know which.
So yeah, they
date
take
it is.
Monday
Yeah, Monday
both
off.
leagues take Monday off. Tuesday the 5th.
This year,
This is
AL's
ahead of
first.
ourselves, but
So what would Cole be?
Cole would pitch against. He wouldn't
last
pitch
start
against.
He misses the
Toronto.
Tampa
Last start
series,
against
right?
Toronto.
Kind of
Misses.
like that.
Yeah, I like that too.
Because that would also give him the first game against Boston. So that's what they're going to do.
He is lined up for that right now. They wouldn't
Currently?
if he makes every
If he goes every
fifth day, he is lined up to do the second game against Boston, the third game against Toronto. He misses Tampa Bay, and he's in the wild card. So Cole's lined up for the wild card already.
Yep. And I think you should be too.
Yeah. They will have to mess around with other people, because right now, because after Cole comes Nestor, or maybe they're
Well,
fine.
if you win the wild card, you get another day off.
And then it would be like Tyone, I think, right
Tyone
now,
or
or
Monty,
Monty.
If it's today, probably has to be JMO, right?
Kluber gets hot.
Yeah.
If he gets going.
Turns those 3 innings into 4 innings into
So
5
whoever's
innings.
going to be the first pitcher in the DS, if they go wild card and they win it,
Right.
that guy is going to pitch game 2 against Tampa Bay. And then your 3 is going to pitch the last game of the season, most likely, unless they get silly. But all right, you want to do postseason stuff? That's what that's called, playoff roster.
I
the
think
episode.
there's one elephant in the room that, I know people are doing it in the chat right now, and you laid it out pretty well beforehand. The Rays are now 7 up. I was already pretty mentally checked out. I like the Rays team coming into this year. I think they've kind of exceeded even my expectations. They've been the best team in the AL for a little while now. I think the hunt for the Rays is just about over. You really have to put your head down and start winning a bunch of games and hoping they end up in your sights again. But man, 7 games is a lot in a month. And just the way that team is playing, that, like we just said, and I, half joked about for the wild card, I think it's time to get ready, people. I don't know. I know, hey, there's 6 games against Baltimore on there. Get fat on those. Win series and see where you end up, that maybe those last 3 Tampa games matter. But like you just said, no matter what happens, like Cole's not going to be in that last series. We know how the Yankees think.
Well, you can't.
I think if the Yankees front office had their dream, I think they come into that Tampa series locked in the top wild card spot, 4 games behind Tampa. So like you can't even think about it.
Even if they're 2 games behind Tampa, you cannot throw Cole in those games and risk not having your $300 million man in a do-or-die wild card game. Like, he's just not pitching against Tampa in those last series.
Right.
And even then, because even if it lined up, just they'd get to see him twice so close together. You don't need to have him face them right before a potential playoff series anyway, even if they got through to the DS.
Yeah, and
they'd be facing them.
I know, the kind of stigma we have with the Rays a little bit, because they're the Rays. I think if there was a Rays Yankees ALDS or ALCS, I do think as of today the Yankees would be the favorites, genuinely, and that's just teams are built differently. The Rays don't really have starting pitching; they just have pitching. Guys, the Rays are just built for the regular season. They have currently won 8 in a row. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 in a row. And they have won 1, 2, 3, 4 plus 8. We all know is 12. They've won 12 out of 13.
They're fucking so good.
They are a regular season machine. So, and like, I think we also got fully sucked in, which is awesome. The Yankees won 13 straight. Let's go. We caught the Red Sox. They were 10 up on us, 10 and a half. We caught them easy, that it was like, let's keep the hunt going. Let's go. Let's get Tampa now. We want Tampa. You lose 3 in a row. Tampa wins 3 in a row. Just like that, you're punched in the mouth again. That, like, do a standings check. Like, look at the wild card. We are a lot closer to Boston and Oakland than we are the Tampa Bay Rays right now. So, We're 2 games up on Boston. If this was talking Sox right now, they're talking about jumping us and having the home game in the wild card. We're over here talking about lining up Cole and having it at home.
Keep it at home. You can't lose the home.
So that's where, you've got your Boston series. You just continue to win series, and there's going to be a couple frustrating days in this 20-game stretch coming up. And I think you got to win these next 2.
You have to.
Cole pitches Wednesday. Tyone needs a little bounce back. Off day, and then it's like gear up. And hopefully, this team with the lineup as they are now, you can create off days. And I hope I can be wrong about my Heaney days. And hopefully you can blow out the Orioles both 3-game sets and not have to use good relievers. That'd be pretty nice. So this is manageable, but I do think we need to take the Tampa blinders off, win series. If they somehow get back to us and go in a skid, cool. But I would just stay away from them for a little bit. And that's okay.
And that's okay. You want to do playoff wild card roster stuff? I'm making it right now. It's fun. I love
You're in
this.
deep.
I love doing
So we're
this.
doing wild card, not DS.
Yeah.
Who do you think that should be brought to us by?
DraftKings?
Because you say I'm a draft king, but I'm a little pup. I grew into noodle. I look like a giraffe.
Noodle the Giraffe. The NFL is back, and DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NFL, is giving all new players a can't-miss offer for Week 1. Bet just $1 on any NFL game during the first week of the season and receive $200 in free bets instantly, no matter what. You bet $1, you get $200 free dollars, and you put it on the Yankees. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now and use promo code JOMBOY to receive $200 in free bets when you place a $1 bet on any Week 1 game. That's promo code JOMBOY to get your free $200 in free bets instantly for a limited time only at DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NFL. You must be 21 or older, New Jersey, Indiana, or PA only. New customers only. Restrictions apply. See DraftKings.com/sportsbook for details. If you have a gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER in Indiana. 1-800-9-WITH-IT.
DraftKings, the first game. We'll be watching it together. A little teaser. Might be a good flip channel. So they open next Thursday. We might be together.
Yeah.
Is there a Yankee game?
Probably.
Next Thursday
It'll
night.
be a little boop, boop, boop. Oh, my God. Oh!
When's into the Thursday game? So we might be watching that.
Yankees next Thursday. It's a podcast night, 7.
Oh, baby.
Probably
Big
pretty-
night. Big sports night.
God. Coming to you live from the shore. It's Beach Week next week. I don't think that's a secret or
Feel
anything that needs
so
to be announced.
alive For the very first time.
Beach Week next week.
Beach week next week.
We'll be working from a beach house because once we get back, it's fucking grind mode. And then October's nuts, and then I'm going to have a baby.
Are we, probably not off our are we going to still be there on Sunday? Because there's Sunday night baseball that week.
No.
No.
Dang.
Yeah. We'll be
Showers.
back here. We might be going to that game, Jake and I.
Yeah.
It's in City Field, right?
Right, yeah.
Yeah,
So
we
we got to get back
I think
here.
so.
Yeah, well, Saturday's my baby shower.
Yeah.
Baby's
And then we have to be out of the beach house Saturday afternoon anyway. And then baby shower.
Bing, bong, bong.
And
Dang.
then Sunday's a normal Sunday.
Sunday's normal. All I needed to know.
Not a normal because we're going to be up late because it's Yankees Mets Sunday Night
Yeah.
Baseball. If they flex another random
It's
one.
not just Sunday night. It's an 8 o'clock instead of a 7 o'clock start.
Uh-huh.
Crap.
Say hey.
David
Wild card game. Who's going to play?
Okay.
All right. So wild card game, if you don't know, those are really fun rosters because you don't need your full plethora of starting pitchers. Because you kind of need one or two, probably, a safety starting pitcher.
Yep.
So I'm interested.
And I actually think, okay, so this is what I have.
So we're doing wild card game roster.
Yeah.
Cole starting, obviously.
Yep.
And we're going to assume, what health assumptions do we have?
Everyone's hell. I got everyone.
Well, like Severino, he's an interesting one for me.
I don't have
'cause-
Sevy or Herman involved in
Okay.
this.
Okay.
That's, you got to really wait and see. Kluber now, he's pitched, so
Okay.
we can figure
He's
that out.
back in the realm.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't think he's on the wild card roster.
That's fair. Because, I mean, if Herman or Sevy come back, I think they're definitely in play for the wild card roster.
We got to see it. I agree with
Yeah.
you, but you kind of just got to see that.
Okay.
We're still a month away. We're going to
Maybe
do this between now
We'll have a
and
couple
then.
asterisk guys. That
Yeah.
If they come back. All right, so what do you got so far? I'll
Do
write
you
it
wanna-
down with you.
Where do you want to go first?
Probably the pitching's easier because then you can figure out how many bench spots you get.
You know, this is a
for-
fun exercise. Like in 3 weeks on the midweek show, I'll save it in a Google sheet and we'll just do it again and see what has changed.
Okay.
So pitching, so it's 26-man roster.
Right.
And pitching wise, it's the bullpen now is actually, we thought it was going to be really hard at one point.
Right.
There's actually spots open that maybe we do like,
Okay.
maybe I do throw Herman in there and say he's going to be a
Okay.
bullpen piece. This is what I have.
Okay.
The starting lineup, I have DJ, Rizzo, Judge, Gallo, Stanton, Voit, Gary, Glaber, Gio. That's the crew.
Okay.
Everyone, not going to be any arguments there, right?
No, we always run into this. I always view position by position, but you have the goal line, the dream lineup that we haven't fully seen yet, right?
Yeah.
Judge and center.
Yep.
Okay.
Then I have on the bench, Higgy's going to be on the bench.
Right.
Gardner is going to be on the bench. Odor is going to be on the bench. Those three are locks.
Wade.
I have Wade. I have Velasquez. And I have Allen for the wild card roster.
So how many hitters does that give you?
That gives you 15 hitters, which is what they did in 2018 for the wild card game. You just need speed. Like Velasquez can switch it infield, Allen can switch it. You just want a bunch of options off the bench to run. That's what they've done the last couple wild card games.
Yeah. Man, Greg Allen.
They stashed him for a reason. They said they want him back up. Didn't Boone go on record and say he'll be back up in September? I wonder if they can hold true to that.
I think
Things have
they
changed.
did. And
I'm
with them
pretty
only
sure-
expanding by 2.
Yeah, I think Boone went on record saying that. But that's just wild card. You know, you go in division, it gets trickier.
So who are, the guys that you could even throw in the mix there would be, what, Florial and Davis? That's kind of it.
Yeah.
Gittins, no way.
No. Yeah.
So we're up. So
Ryan.
right now we're up to 15 of the roster
15 offensive players. I can put this on the big
You
screen.
know who's in AAA right now?
Who's that?
Ryan Lamar.
Oh yeah, I'm doing a breakdown of him. Like he
Whoops.
struck out for the walk-off,
Whoops.
or swung and missed at a pitch, and it was a walk-off swing and
Trey
miss. The most
Amberg,
boring
you
walk-off
remember
ever.
that?
All right, I have Cole as the starter, and then I have Monty. And I think that you take your game 2 starter for the DS
Interesting.
as your second, because unless they do extra rest, if they map it out perfectly. But whoever's the number 2, I don't really care. It's
I
Cole
think-
and a starter, Tyler or Monty.
I think, well, the other counter to that would be Nestor. Nestor, who's comfortable coming out of the
That's what I was gonna
bullpen
say.
I have Nestor down here
in the actual pen.
for the wild card game
Okay.
in the pen.
Well,
And
we'll see.
I do
We'll see
think,
how
like,
the other bodies land because
Yeah. So I have Cole plus a second starter, and just a reminder that's not for him to pitch. That's in case Cole gets the shits or stubs his toe or chops his
extra
finger
innings,
off.
like you need
Extra innings, but
you need that guy.
like they put Tanaka on the wild card 18, and people were like, "What?"
Yeah.
And it's like, well, that's in case Sevy literally
You need
doesn't
that.
show up.
one game.
The bullpen now: Chapman, Chad, Laza, Wandy, Holmes, Litke. Locks. If they're healthy, they're locks.
I think so.
Which leaves you with 3 open spots now, with Britton being gone and some other stuff happening. Which leaves you with, I'm going to put Heel, Nestor, and Herman.
Okay.
Now Sevy can win that spot, but
So right now there's no Sevy. There's no Joely.
okay. Let me just I'll do Joely instead of Herman
So
now.
go Joely instead of
And
Herman.
I'll stick true, and you got to wait and see. Who am I missing?
Steven Ridings.
We'll see what he's up to.
Okay.
That would
I
be.
like what we saw and everything.
I love
It's
what we
hard
saw.
to-
I think a little bit of the Velasquez effect, where we saw 3 starts. The stuff was there, and the poise was kind of there, but he did go down to the minors and get injured. So I wonder what that was, overuse, ramp up. I have no idea.
He needed to come back.
Ooh,
and get some
Abreu.
appearances.
Good. Abreu. I'll put Abreu over Heel right now. So then, like, we have potentials of Herman, Severino. I don't think Severino's going to be on the wild card roster. Herman, Severino.
That brings in the whole question of, like, what Sevy is. Is he a 2-inning Sevy? Is he?
We got to wait and see.
Because writings.
So we're making.
So the bullpen still has a lot of different ways it can go.
We're making a list here.
Checking it twice.
Can I?
Find out who's naughty or nice.
The heck?
Santa Claus is coming to town. Santa Claus is coming to town.
How do you make it so
Love
it's
Bruce
like
singing that?
you do?
Yeah.
I think you just click that.
But I want to make it so.
Gotta be good for
Viewer.
goodness sake. You want anyone to see
You want
it.
to, you want to be able to
You want
tweet
the world
this.
to
Okay.
see it.
Stupid
Ooh,
Jimmy.
tough link.
Stupid.
It's tough. That's tough.
Here, I'm sharing this in the chat. I don't know if you're going to be able to click that. And then we can update it as we go. So we have, like, our question marks down here. And we'll just update them. I mean, I'll throw fucking the Heen dog on here as well.
Ooh. So you currently have Joelle on.
If you send
there,
me that link, I
Albert.
can send it to them.
Man, oh man.
What are you seeing? What stands out to you by this list? Obviously, there's a lot of health stuff. I do think it's a fun thing, repetition, whatever I just said, to like keep track of this because things can change wildly.
I guess what I've been wondering in my head, you know, Jake in the shower, Lil Stony Baloney, Noodle and Jess are asleep. What?
Shared it.
Is Joelle. I've just been on the edge about Joelle because of the 3-batter minimum. He's so good against lefties. In a 1-game playoff, I think Joelle has to be on the team. Because whether it's the Red Sox or it's the A's, if Devers or Matt Olson comes up in a big spot, it's got to be Joelle. I think he's your best against lefties. And in 1 game, like, I don't think, you know, if you bring Licky and Wandy have been really good, but Joelle gets out lefties. So I don't know where I stand on him for a 5-game playoff series, especially looking at some of the other bodies, but I think for 1 game, I'm in on Joelle. And then, I think, you know, we talked about the 2 starting pitcher spots. I think if you move Nestor into that role, which he is perfect for, that allows you essentially another bullpen arm, you know?
Yeah, it's just very interesting to see where Nestor's going to be.
Because let's say, okay, go back to Jakey coin flips from the preseason. Let's say Herman and Severino are a coin flip for the same thing right now. 2 innings, 40 pitches, that's what they're dialed up for. If you move Nestor into that second starting pitching role, which he partially deserves and can come out of the pen, you know, now you have Domingo or Sevy potentially for 2 innings, which both those guys can thrive in. So I guess who would have that as the most screwed right now? Can you scroll up? So let's see. I mean, that still has Heel off the roster, but I think I'm okay with that. He's a rookie.
Yeah. I mean, and this is just right now.
Right.
So next week or 2 weeks from now, we will look at this again.
We're still a month of regular season away from.
Look at all the people
from
in
the
the
game.
sheet with me.
People in the sheet.
So let's do this then.
Okay. Uh-oh. It
So
goes
pivot to the
down in
ALDS.
the DS.
You take these 2 off. This is my guess. You take those off. You go Cole. So I took 2, and then I added 2. So that's that.
So is that it? Man, so this is for the 5-game ALDS. Obviously the same. We're going jumbo lineup, goal line. Higgy, Gardy, Wade, Odor. I don't think anyone can argue that. Like, I don't think there's anything unless, like, Greg Allen has a moment?
Velasquez they might like.
Yeah.
Which, play Wade.
Which would be so messed up to Wade.
Like, people, like, been wondering why they're doing so much Velasquez over Wade. The only thing I can think of that makes sense, other than if Wade is banged up, which, all right, fair,
Right.
but is like maybe it's just they view Wade as being that bench option come the playoffs, so use him that way in the regular season.
They're prepping Wade for that.
It's still so early. Like, if we were in the last 3
Still
weeks
mean.
of the year, it's still mean.
Jake has a question.
There's the opening for him to play, but
So the
that's
Yankees,
the only thing I can think of.
Tyler Wade and Velasquez.
Yeah.
As you've mentioned a couple times recently, Velasquez has played outfield and stuff. He's shown that.
So is Wader.
So is Wade, but we haven't seen that side from Velasquez yet, but he does have that.
In the minors, he's played a lot of
What if,
Velasquez.
I know this is something, we've talked about coming into the year and we've wondered for a little while. Velasquez has put on a show at shortstop at times. Is there any way he becomes the defensive replacement at shortstop for the playoffs? And would that put him over Wade in your head? Because Wade is also good at shortstop, but the Yankees have never believed in him as defensive replacement for Kluber at the end of game at shortstop.
Yeah. I don't know. I have them closer together than farther apart skill at shortstop.
Okay.
I think they're close, but I think I test Velasquez visually is like a tick above, but just a little bit.
I also
would give
personally
him the
think they're
edge.
close. If you
Very
gave me a full season at shortstop, I think I'd lean Velasquez.
I think I would too, but I don't think it's been like Wade's awful and he's amazing.
No,
They're
no,
both
no.
kind of like
They're in the same
I'm
tier.
more so I'm
Ace.
jumping into the Yankees front office where they've had Wade forever. They know Wade, and they've never viewed him as late game replacement for Glaber level at shortstop. There's a chance they could view Velasquez that way.
maybe. Yeah.
I don't know. I'm just having the conversation. I don't know.
So 13 hitters. I don't know. I think that's it right now. But I mean, obviously, a lot of this is going to change, which is a fun exercise to monitor.
I'd in the 5 game,
Yeah.
I definitely think Joely. I'd probably have Joely off for either healthy Herman Severino or even Hill.
I agree with you. You need, for the 5 game, you need a long man here.
Yeah.
So Kluber's.
Because Nestor's on the squad, but you also have him as insurance for Kluber, Tyone, and Monty if they have a bad day. Like, he's not a long man.
Yeah.
He's bonus
No,
starter.
I fully agree. I don't know if I want to make the decision right now, but I think I would. I think if it was today, I'd take Joely off, and right now I'd put Heel on.
If you're making the choice today.
If I'm making the choice today, because you just need someone who can throw innings.
Right.
And Heel would be it's game 2, we're down by 6, and there's
Yeah.
3 innings left.
Get
Heel,
2 of those.
go save us.
If you show us something, maybe we'll see you later.
Yeah, Joely can't
Like,
do
if
that.
Herman comes back and is what he's been most of the year, then it's him over Heel, but you can't.
Man.
But he's not back yet, so today
I'm
it's
lost
Heel.
on Luis Hill. I'll flat out admit it.
In what ways?
He hasn't given up an earned run.
I know.
But if Herman and Sevy were healthy, they get the spot over Heel, I think.
Yeah, of course, but maybe
Which has me in a funk because the kid's pitched 3 games. He hasn't given up an earned run, and
3,
I
like,
don't
full
think
starts.
he'd be on the DS
Well, at that
roster.
point, if Herman and Sevy were healthy and stretched out and bulk guys or starters or whatever, 3 innings, at that point, your decision now is, are we going to take Heel because he's more stretched out, or are we going to stretch out Abreu? Because
Yeah.
you either need
Heel or
Abreu,
Abreu
it's
becomes
Heel
the
or
combo.
Abreu, and you can stretch Abreu out so he can give you 2 innings in
Right.
the postseason, or even 3. You just need to start doing that now.
Right.
Otherwise, because you need a long man.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, I think Heel Abreu, and I mean, that poll would come out, 90-10 right now, Heel? not
Abreu's
higher.
got some love.
He gets some love, but Heel hasn't given up an earned run. He's invincible in New York.
Abreu
right
got
now.
the 2 saves, so he's been thrown into pressure.
Yeah.
He's been like at the 2 innings or less roll a little bit. We're a little past, but just like in a DS, particularly against the Rays, yeah, Joely kind of has to be the odd man out because they're gonna have a counter for him, whatever situation you
Yes.
drop Joely in.
Joely,
you're not trusting him against a
is
righty.
useless against Tampa.
Like it, Joely, but Tampa has a counter to you. The only situation
You
is
have nothing.
The
for
only
them.
play you have for him is if you're putting him in.
You're facing
against
Brasso.
Belau.
You're facing Brasso.
Belau is the only guy that wouldn't sub out for him.
Meadows,
Maybe
Mets.
Meadows. But Meadows, they're sickos.
He would face Brasso and Yandy Diaz every time.
Benjamin Goldberg in the chat.
anyone
Isn't this
else.
presumptuous? We can easily miss the playoffs. Yeah, man.
Yeah.
That's what you
Yeah.
do. As a fan, you dream.
Also,
You
it's
dream-
not
and right now
super
we're the
presumptive.
home.
They're
playoff
4 up
team
on
by 2
Oakland.
games.
Well, I mean, for DS, I guess.
Right.
For
For
DS.
DS. But yeah, that's the whole.
Well, he's saying we can easily miss the playoffs, which
they can't really.
there would have to be
easily-
a collapse.
Yeah, it would be.
It would be very
to
noteworthy
miss the wild card.
now.
But that's the whole point. Like, if you can't do this, then what do? You just literally talk about the next game. I mean, all these guys could be hurt.
Yeah.
People could come back. Obviously, it's presumptuous. But that's why I want to keep track of it. And we next week, we look and we say, how are we shifting this?
If Ridings comes back
2,
and he
3
has
weeks from
3
now.
good outings, like he probably jumps
like
Albert
that.
Abreu in my brain, which is disgusting.
Writing's
This
so
stuff's
nasty.
nasty.
It's sport.
So
If any of Kluber starts the rest of the way are good, he's locked in. Not any. He has enough time.
Well, I think that
Sevy's
comes.
back at all. He's pitched
Kluber
playoff
comes
games.
back to the old. I forget what sport. All right, I guess this is a baseball thing. Sometimes you got to look at the salary. There's a reason they gave Kluber 10 mil. Like if Kluber looks even okay the rest of the way, they're gonna give him the pill. Their front
He's
office
at least on
believes
the
in him.
roster.
They believe in him.
Maybe he can't physically give you a full length start, but
If he looks
he's
bad,
not going to be rattled.
Then it's a conversation. But
It's the only reason.
Ridings
you
has
brought him
not
here.
pitched since
Steven,
pitching in
resting up.
Major League Baseball.
Better be good for goodness sake. Whew, doggy.
If you want to hear other teams' playoff stuff,
Where would you listen to that at,
Hopes.
like Baseball Today? Is it a show with an ex-player, Trevor Plouffe, and Chris Rose? You probably remember him from JOMBOY Media, MLB Network, NFL Network, Best Damn Sports Show, period. Trevor is a friend of ours. He hosts the #1 baseball podcast in the world. He was also a stud third baseman for the Minnesota Twins, Tampa Bay Rays,
He's the best.
Oakland Athletics, Phillies, Texas Rangers spring training. Man, they if you guys haven't seen it, go check it out on the YouTube machine. They do it live on IG. I still think they're crushing that. But man, go check it out. Chris Rose prep. He's professional, and he preps like the topics of the day. They have great conversations about it. And man, Baseball Today come playoff time is going to be like an absolute must. An absolute must. But man, down the stretch as well. Go check them out. They are the best, and they'll get you ready for Baseball Today.
Baseball Today, and they're huge Yankee fans.
Both of them, born and raised.
Huge. I was just listening to the interview with Chafin. It
Chafin.
was funny, man. He threw a no-hitter in high school, and he didn't know it. And Rose was
talking
like,
about the hit today.
Rose was like, yeah, you didn't know it? And he's like, nah, man, just a bunch of farm boys playing a game.
Just out there having a good time.
JOMBOY Media needs a slot on MLB Network, says Brody NY. Brody, appreciate you. MLB Network needs a slot on JM Baseball.
Ooh. Or both.
This show performs better in its this and Talkin' Baseball perform better in its forms than they would on linear television. Like more people watch this than whatever slot they'd give us on MLB Network. It's not even close. If they were to give us like the 9 p.m. weekday slot on MLB Network versus any podcast app, YouTube, Facebook, we'd crush those numbers. It's It's not
The
something I'm
books
looking
a little
for.
there.
What's that?
They cook the books a little there.
They get
get-
one-time viewing,
Yeah.
and they don't do replays. People can listen and watch this at their own time. Like, if they offered us that, we'd be like, no, that would smaller audience.
We'll air it on both.
You'd get
Just pay us.
Yeah, we can do
There's
that.
solutions.
We can put it on
There's
there.
solutions.
a lot of people that
Yes,
don't
MLB
want to
Network.
watch it.
We'll
would
listen
get,
to you.
Would get
You got to be nice to us,
a view.
and then
So
we'll
you
be
can get
nice.
some new eyes, but
Treat things like you treat life. Be nice to people.
Be nice every day.
We'll be nice back.
Do you want to compliment BBD?
I already complimented him. Don't want him to start swooning too much.
Okay.
no.
What'd you compliment him about?
His look today.
Oh, I did that
obviously.
as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Obviously.
No, it's my sexy outfit.
It's also a good producer.
And when we were doing the pregame show yesterday,
Yeah.
yeah, I had a moment where I was looking at BBD with the beard and stuff, and I was remembering pre-beard BBD. And, you know, couple years, you've grown a lot.
Wow.
Just because of the beard? That
The
picture of you
beard is
doing
a
your
s-
butt with
the
no
beard
beard,
is
you
a
look so much
symbol.
younger.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Happens. Happens. All right. Do you want to guess the lineup tonight? Voigt's going to be in. Who's going to be the sitter?
So Voigt should be in tonight.
Who's pitching for? Well, it's a bullpen day again, or did they announce a starter?
I think Barria was supposed to pitch for them and is gonna.
He's listed as their starter today. Not in my book.
He's young. I think he's okay. He's an Angel starting pitcher.
What's his name?
Barria?
Jaime or Jamie
I don't know
Barria.
how he pronounces it, but I think it's the same spelling as Jaime Garcia. So
Where's this? Where's my favorite page on Baseball Reference? Got it.
Where's his favorite page?
Batting orders.
Jaime, confirmed.
Okay. It might be a LeMahieu sit day, and Rizzo DHs and Odor plays second. Could be that.
Rugi.
And they run the towers in the outfield again. I don't think it's going to be that, but it could be that. It could be a Judge DH day. But that doesn't really help much because that means Voigt's sitting. Voigt's playing. So,
Voigt has to play.
and Rizzo's probably going to play as well. So Voigt's the DH. So one of the towers might be sitting and then pinch hitting today.
Yeah.
Judge has been playing a lot of center field. It's a long road trip. I wouldn't be shocked if Judge is sitting and then he's going to pinch hit halfway through the game for Gardy. Stan's on fire. I don't think you can sit him.
Ooh,
And so-
that'll get people hot.
So I think Stan's in right field. Judge is also on fire, though.
That'd be a nice.
But Stan's like hot.
That'd be
Stan's
a-
red hot.
That'd be a nice little.
And
night-
Rizzo's gotten going now, so you can't really give him the day off and DH Judge.
Nice little nightcap to this West Coast trip would be benching Stanton or Judge is going to get people very hot tonight. So
Yeah.
don't do it.
Well,
Fair
okay.
Give
chance for
Gallo
a
an off
Gallo
day.
sit.
Yeah, Gallo.
He's the lefty though.
And who's the pitcher? Is it righty?
Yeah.
So DJ lead off.
Yeah.
Rizzo second, playing first. Yeah, it could be Stanton third. Gallo fourth. If they're saying, or they just fuck over Voigt. I don't think he deserves
Dude, you
that.
double sit Voigt, and then it's what are you doing?
Yeah.
So, okay, how about we just did a process of elimination? You can't do Judge or Stan today. They're both killing it.
So Gallo.
We'd be okay with Gallo, DJ, or
Gallo or DJ.
Gallo, DJ, or Rizzo in a way.
DJ is
Rizzo
hitting-
feels like
I know
he
he's
just
looked
got
better,
going.
I don't think you can do. And he just had a day off. You know, it'd be.
Yeah. If he still wasn't rolling, yeah. But
And he's hitting, right?
he's going in the at-bats, like, look competitive again. Even the big hit against
Just
Sokol,
missed
that
that
was really an
homer.
error.
I think you're going to
Need to
get
play.
one of the towers sitting today.
Okay.
I don't know. Because you got to get Voigt in.
Who picked-
When they were winning 13 in a row, is it much easier to say, like, yeah, just give them half a day off and then they'll pinch hit and come in halfway through.
If JMO's pitching today and Cole's tomorrow.
Ooh, DJ is not hitting well. Last 7, he's got a 192 and a 596 OPS. So maybe it's...
Do you guys see who's starting tomorrow now for the A's?
DJ 2 hits last night,
Angels?
though.
Who?
Packy Naughton.
Packy Naughton?
Packy Naughton.
What?
Packy Naughton.
Packy Naughton.
Packy Naughton.
Is he making his debut?
Guess where he's from?
Third game.
Where's he from?
Boston, Mass.
Oh, my God.
What a nightmare childhood this guy had.
Packy
Besides the
Naughton?
professional major league
Packy
stuff.
Naughton? Is going to be his first big league start. What's his full name? Patrick?
Packy Naughton.
Patrick
Joseph
Joseph Naughton. Packy Naughton.
Packy Naughton.
Packy Naughton. Packy. Jeez, that's rough. All right, lineup. DJ. Maybe DJ's out. Maybe today is the
Ooh, I got it.
Voit, Rizzo, Judge.
Voit lead off today.
Lead off Luke.
Yep.
Instill the
Dock
confidence.
it. Packy Naughton.
Packy Naughton. Come on, Packy. Is
Was it-
Packy and
Wasn't the Sullivan girl messing around with that Packy Naughton kid for a little while?
Kelly O'Sullivan? We know a Kelly O'Sullivan, right? From
Is it O? Might
Maybe.
just be Sullivan.
Well, it was
Well,
O'Sullivan.
now it's her name now.
Yeah.
She's out there. So go find.
The last time Voit led off, it was Voit, Rizzo, Judge, Gallo, Stanton. So Voit, Rizzo, Judge, Gallo, Stanton. And if DJ's out, that means Odor is going to be at second. And he's probably going to be after Stanton to break that up.
Jete Odor.
Gary catching. And then
And then they'll
been
go
doing-
full beef lineup tomorrow sans Gary. Because it'll be Higgy and Cole.
I like that. So what's our official guess
Commercial
here?
beef.
And Velasquez at short, we think.
Feels like Wade could get one. I don't know.
Feels like it. Like rotate it. You know,
Packy
Velasquez.
Naughton's a lefty, so in theory,
Velasquez.
Velasquez.
tomorrow.
Let's do
tomorrow,
Wade today then.
Let's do Wade today.
All right, so here's my lineup
Manifest
guess. And I mean, obviously, this could be this. We never get them right. I think one time we got it right,
Yeah.
which is great.
We got like the 9 guys right.
Guessing who's going to sit out of the top 6 is a fun game because it's one of them every night.
Just about.
And I'm not that upset about it, but Voit, Rizzo, Judge, and he's playing center again, which is a lot of games for Judge and center.
He's going to get a DH or off day soon.
That's why if DJ's playing, I think Judge might be out with Gardner in center, and then Judge is like in 6th inning on. Like, Judge, you got the 6th inning to the end of the game today, or 5 to end. That's my other option here. I don't think you can sit Stanton, and I think you got to get Voit and Rizzo in. So Voit, DH, Rizzo first, Judge center field, Gallo left field, Stan right field, Odor at second, Gary catching, Gio at third, Wade at short. That's my guess.
Official.
Yeah. My B guess is Guardian center, Judge out, DJ
I think
in.
it's about equally likely that they do that.
Yeah.
Coin flip.
Judge has been.
I don't think you can take Judge or Stan out. 3-game losing streak.
I don't think so either.
Off day Thursday.
Yeah.
It's go time.
Now, do you think they just sit Void again? Because if they just sit Void again, then they're just, I mean,
Then Voigt's
Then you've just fucked
the
his
bench.
entire year for no reason.
yeah. I mean, he's been
so
the hottest hitter on the team. Stan, then
Stan.
Void. Stan, Void, Judge. I'll have a 1. Dude, Stan, Void, Judge's numbers in the last 14 games, all 3 of them are insane. You can't sit Void. You can't. You have DJ's the sit today.
Already played the whole game yesterday, right? So he's out. So it's big outfield today.
Towers in the outfield.
Get him
Voigt
back out there
DHing,
tomorrow.
DJ
one of them,
sits.
one of the big boys DH.
Goal line.
Yeah.
Luke lead off.
Too late to do a full conversation, but something we missed in the playoff or wild card discussion is that Cole's pitching.
Higgy catching.
Yeah.
No.
We're a month away, so I'm comfortable
already did
saying you
that.
can't do that.
We already did that. We already jumped that. Cole pitched to Gary. Baseball happened.
Pitched Gary a couple times.
okay. It's okay.
Yeah.
But
It'll be okay.
get Gary a cold start between now and then, like a straight up. Because I think all the times that it happened, it was like a late sub for Higgy and COVID. Higgy was out. So it was they haven't done it by choice.
Packy Naughton.
Packy Naughton. Yeah. All right. That's the episode today.
I caught him drinking Dr. McGillicuddy's behind the dumpster.
Listen, we're doing playoff roster shit every week. We're going to keep it updated. And everyone's saying, like, oh, talking about the playoffs on August 31st. Dream a little.
Dream on.
Tomorrow is September, so
It's my
very
most
much
favorite.
a fair
It's
conversation.
one of my most favorite fan activities. Jake likes prepping for, like, NFL drafts.
Kissing.
And, like, what if
Foreplay.
he takes him here, then who trades for this guy?
Creative
Like,
use of your
you know?
hands.
I like projecting and thinking about playoff rosters. I love doing it.
Yeah.
So,
I like doing both of those things, which is
and that's
you
why
brought
the
me
three of
here.
us are such good friends.
Mm-hmm.
Go Yanks. Go Yanks. Tell them, Grams.
Go Yankees.